I thought shaving this thing would give us wonders, would help the Leafs, would help the Raptors, and it would be great. Clearly it didn't work. Leafs lose 4-2 to the Arizona Coyotes. Technically 3-2. Because again, they give up an empty net goal. It feels like every game this is happening, this Leaf team is giving up empty netter after empty netter after empty netter. This team is struggling in many aspects right now. They're struggling in their power play, which has been absolutely terrible. They were 0 for 1 in the game today. They only had one power play in the game. Freddie Anderson, he made some big saves. I thought he wasn't terrible in the game today. However, he did give up 3 on 30, which isn't terrible. But the offense, that has now dried up for the Leafs. More specifically, Austin Matthews. Now, we could sit here and say, well, it's William Nylander and his big contract. Does anybody forget about Austin Matthews when everyone's saying he's going to get paid $13, $14 million, whatever the heck they're going to get, 12.5, whatever he's going to get next year? Which I do agree he's worth it. But, by the way, William Nylander got an assist on the first goal today. It was a pretty nice little chip pass to the boards where Dermott just laid into it. Or actually, no, he didn't. He kind of just floated it on the net. But anyways, Nylander with an assist. Austin Matthews, ladies and gentlemen, has not scored since January 5th against the Vancouver Canucks in that 5-0 win. Let me do the math here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like 6 or 7 games. Anyways, can't do the math here. It's like 6 or 7 games, maybe even 8 games, if my math is even right. But even before that one lone goal against the Vancouver Canucks, he went like 6 games without a goal. So Matthews has 1 goal in the last like 10 to 12 games, guys. That's not good. Now, yes, he's added in some assists, and he's still getting the point numbers. That is okay. But he has now been pointless in 3 straight games. He's been a -6 in those 3 games. Now, whether you look at the plus-minus stat as anything, you guys go right ahead and do what you feel. But in the end, that's when you're on the ice for a goal against. So everyone's getting mad at Matthews and mad at Jake Gardiner. But guys that you expect to score a ton. Now, John Tavares, I feel like he's been at least a mini slump for scoring goals. Yeah, he hadn't scored since January 10th against the Devils. He scores today. But I mean, you know, guys, like I said, guys you expect to score. Mitch Marner gets an assist in the game today. Andreas Johnsson's kind of slowed down. Kasperi Kapanen, I don't know where the heck this guy's been. You know, I mean, okay, maybe he hasn't been as bad as I thought. But again, 1 goal in his last, like, since Christmas. Kasperi Kapanen, 1 goal. You see, guys? It's not just one guy that's having an issue. It's a magnitude of people. Mitch Marner is one of the only Leafs that's actually been consistent. Him and John Tavares, for the most part, are the only guys that have been consistently getting it done on a gamely basis. And to be a good team, that can't happen. The Leafs had the lead in this game today with the Travis Dermott floater from the point. Nylander and Frederick Gauthier have assists because it was a 4th line goal. You know, and then the defense gets mixed up in the neutral zone in the second period. Not Adrian Kempe. What's his name then? It's not Adrian Kempe. Mario Kempe just goes right around the defenseman because they almost collide with each other. And Frederik Andersen, nice little move by Kempe, and he beats him just over the blocker. Ties the game at 1. Late in the period, though, Clayton Keller, you know what? I'm not going to bash Freddie or the defenseman or anybody for this. You know why? It was a damn good shot from Clayton Keller. Short side, rings it off the iron. It was a beautiful shot from Clayton Keller. The Leafs also do hit a couple posts as well. Morgan Riley in the 3rd period hits a crossbar. You know, the Leafs get a couple scrambly plays. They don't get anything going. Look, the Leafs played a great first period. You got a 1-0 lead, and you outshoot the opponent 11-6. Exactly what you want to see. However, in the second period, it's the flipped opposite, 11-5 in favor of the Coyotes, and the Leafs needing a goal in the 3rd period. Yeah, you get one, but I'm saying for the most part they did need a goal. And you lose that 3rd period 14-11 in shots. Now, a big number we look at here, blocked shots. At one point late in the game, the Coyotes had 29 blocked shots. Now, for everybody preaching, everybody's, what I'm seeing now is this Leafs team getting frustrated. Now, we talk about your team firing the puck in net. You don't know what's going to happen. You never know, right? That's a question. You never know what you're going to see when you fire the puck on the net. Agreed. However, if the puck ain't even getting through, you got to see some sort of lane. And I feel like tonight the Leafs just didn't see any lane, and they're just like, screw it, we're going to fire it anyways. And I'm scared if they're in that mindset. Because it means they're fighting themselves now, and that's not what you want to get from a playoff team. The Leafs now dropped to 29-17, and what is that, 2? I think they have, one game before the All-Star break? I think it's one game before the All-Star break. The Leafs have never lost 3 straight games this season. Doesn't feel like it. But they have not lost 3 straight games all year long. And the problem I have with the way this team has played lately, it's the way you've played these games. For example, let's go to the schedule real quick here. Now, let me go down to January. Okay, so the Leafs lose against the Bruins. Tough third period, 3-2 loss. It's a tough one. However, you didn't close out the second period great, and you lose and you can't score in the third. Colorado, you had a 2-0 lead against a team who has lost a ton of games. Had won 1 game in their last 10, and it was horrendous. You find a way to lose 6-3. Now, ideally, 2 were empty netters, but you lose 4-3 after having a 2-0 lead. Can't happen. Tampa Bay, you find a way to win that game. I mean, ideally, Frederick Anderson bailed this team out 1,000,000 times in that game, especially late. Florida, the team doesn't just show up at all. And today, you had the first period, the Leafs show up. The rest of the game, not so much. Inconsistency, effort, and the ability to put the puck in the back of the net is the problem right now. And at times to keep the puck out, it's really a little bit of everything, and that's scary. Jake Gardiner does not play today. Coincidence? First game back since he got booed here last. Back spasms was the report before the game. Do you guys believe that? Well, that's up to you guys to debate. I don't know if I do, but I trust that they're not screwing around. They're not just making him sick because he's a damn good player, and he's a good player for this team. But I'm hoping that's not the case. The next game and final game for the Leafs before the All-Star break. You're at home taking on the Washington Capitals. Now, most times I'd sit here and be like, I am scared of this game because the Capitals, obviously Stanley Cup champions, and they're a damn good team every single year. However, as of right now, the Capitals have lost 5 straight games. They're 3-5-2 in their last 10. They got smashed by the terrible Chicago Blackhawks today, 8-5. I know it's Washington. I know they're a good team. But they're playing terrible. You just played Colorado, who had not won a game in forever. You just played the Arizona Coyotes, and you lost both. You're now playing another team that is good, but struggling. Find a way, Leafs. Matthews, put a damn puck in the net. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously, coming from me. But knowing what he is, and knowing the dollar bills he's going to command once the offseason begins, show us you're worth it. We know you are, but let's see it on the ice. Freddie Anderson looks for a kind of a bounce-back outing, though. Look, if this team needs to steal a win or two, he needs to do the job. It says Phoenix Copley is the expected starter in the game against the Capitals. I don't know if Holtby is still hurt or if he's just been terrible for the Caps. He hasn't been great, but again, no matter who's in the net, the Leafs got to find a way to get the job done against Washington. And I don't care what this team, who you're facing, the Leafs have to win this last game, and so do the Capitals. The Leafs do not want to go into the All-Star break having lost 3 straight for the first time this year. The Capitals don't want to go into the All-Star break having lost 6 in a row. Or, I mean, do they play? They actually play a back-to-back. They play at home against San Jose, and then they play the Leafs in the second night of a back-to-back. Everything is pointing to this for a Leaf victory. Everything. But we're going to have to wait and see how this goes. The Leafs have a few days off before they take on the Washington Capitals Monday and Tuesday before they take on the Caps on Wednesday. So, you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed the video, and you guys did not enjoy today's game. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below, guys, What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of Freddie? What'd you think of the team's effort? What do you think of Austin Matthews lately? Everything about this team right now. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And Evan and I will talk to you guys Wednesday afternoon, podcast edition. Links are in the description for the podcast channel, guys, and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Twitter is also down below. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. And I will talk to you guys Raptors edition as they look to get their third straight victory as they welcome in the Sacramento Kings to Scotiabank Arena on Tuesday night, 7 o'clock tip-off there. Again, Sacramento's a team you cannot take lightly. The Raptors have been playing well, especially without Kawhi Leonard over the last few games. But with Kawhi out for the last two for rest, you look for him to come out flying against Sacramento on Tuesday night. And that's for the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. Like we said, they take on the, Washington Capitals at Scotiabank Arena. Phoenix Copley, Frederick Anderson, the expected starters on Wednesday night. 7:30 puck drop. This team needs a win going into the All-Star break. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Talk to you guys then.